So, people are upset that I reviewed a movie that I didn't review from not seeing it, even though I didn't review it. Hello everyone, I am Mecha Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy. Now, I did want to clear the air a little bit about this whole great Black Panther controversy, and I went back and I looked because you never know. I might have reviewed something, even though my first movie review was an attempt to review Halloween, which that one didn't work out very well, even though I did end up seeing it a few days later and actually reviewing it. But hey, you never know. My mind kind of gets a little wonky sometimes.
Smoke weed every day.
And I have been sick recently, so let's just go ahead and take a look at what my channel was doing back when Black Panther came out. Now, Black Panther came out, I want to say February 15th. I remember because my birthday was a Thursday. My birthday was the 16th. That one came out Wednesday the 15th, I want to say. Now, let's go back and look here at what was going on. Oh, here, I had to dig. I had to dig a little bit deeper here for my old channel. It's a few pages back. So my channel, I started out in 2014 on this channel with gaming, etc., and I was not happy doing gaming, especially once Star Trek came out. So we're going back January. Let's go back to 2017. I had earned about 5,000 subs because I was playing actually Yokai Watch. I got really popular with Yokai Watch with Wibble Wobble, etc., and if you go back far enough, you can even see all that. I was a gaming channel. I was not happy being a gaming channel because, I'm not a babysitter. I'm just going to put it that way. I am not somebody's babysitter. Never wanted to be a babysitter. Never signed up for that, etc., So let's just keep going. And I was sprinkling in other stuff. I was doing Cuphead. I was doing comedy night, guitar and singing stuff. That's actually right when I got really, really frustrated with that. And I had, this is even further back, right? September 2015, I was doing a lot of that stuff. I spent a good chunk of this summer of 2017 playing Friday the 13th as well. But as you can see, I was a gaming channel. And I had some decent views on Yokai Watch how-tos and tutorials and stuff. But I wasn't a pop culture channel until I started getting really, really frustrated with, I'm playing Planet Coaster while I talk about Star Trek. So I kept doing Star Trek, and I kept kind of discouraging the little, because my channel's clearly not for the little ones, and thanks to Copa and all that garbage, why I'm saying my channel's not for the little ones, and why everything's privatized and not just there. That, and I wanted to kind of change the algorithm a little bit and make it kind of for my favor, I suppose, because sometimes you got to do some drastic stuff, like have people unsubscribe and resubscribe. This was back in one of the first or second apocalypses. So here, we're going to January, December. Oh, let's just go, fine. Jump ahead. It's going to take a second to load, of course it is. Come on. May. Oh, did we skip past? Well, this is where I really started trimming out stuff. I wasn't really streaming so much every day. I was taking a lot more time off. Yeah, I went from February 27th to March. Oh, no, that's because that was the next day. Never mind. But I was doing Discovery reviews. Well, wasn't I? Back then, because back here, if you guys remember, I was a huge, I mean, probably the best word to describe it was kind of groupie of a certain evil overlord here. And yeah. Even have the certificate with my old channel name on it, Random Game User 42. Also, I am Legionnaire number 8. So keep that one in mind when you guys are seeing this. I was the 8th person who signed on to that tier of Patreon with Doomcock, and I was hanging around with his Patreon chat quite a bit and getting a lot of encouragement from people there, including Doomcock himself, and of course my ex at the time, or the person I was dating at the time, a lot of encouragement from people saying, I know, just change your channel. Don't do gaming anymore. Talk about this stuff. You could be kicking all these people's butts. Even Tom from Midnight's Edge, he's like, yeah, you could be kicking Grace Randolph's butt. Doomcock's like, oh yeah, you're just as good as SC reviews. You could do just as much as all these other people. Why not? Why not switch it over? You're not happy doing gaming. You're not. So I'm like, okay, let me do some tests. And here we go, from 75 to 300. That was a good boost. That was a good push in the right direction. So here we go. This is the week Black Panther came out. Where's the review? Because I didn't do one. I didn't see it. That weekend was a trip for my birthday, actually, to go to Guitar Center in the Japanese grocery store in Chicago. Didn't see that. I made a compromise with the person I was seeing at the time, which is more information than you need. He wanted to see an anime movie of Nanoha. I don't know how to say it. That's what he wanted to see. That's what we saw that night instead. And we were among 3 people in the theater who saw that. I was about as pleased with that one as I was, to be perfectly honest, with Black Panther. I didn't want to see either. I was just there because I knew the next day would be, hey, and we gotta go to the Guitar Center, and we gotta go to Pizza Lot. Because, you got a Guitar Center right next to the Japanese grocery store. And anybody who knows anything about me knows I like guitars. I like guitars quite a bit more than superheroes, to be perfectly honest. But hey, I'm the Star Trek fan, giving the superhero movies a shot slowly and gradually. And I wasn't rushing out to see all of these, and I had only seen maybe a handful before that. I wasn't the hugest superhero person at the time, and here's me coming in being the Star Trek and Star Wars and Doctor Who and Babylon 5 fan, coming in and sprinkling in Star Trek. And for a good 6 months of my YouTube channel was Star Trek, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, those were the biggies. And here you can even see on one of these, I think I even had Doomcock himself on with me on stream on one of these. Probably a couple of them, playing Jackbox one night, just doing a live chat hangout. I had a lot of encouragement back then. I really did. And it's just kind of, I can't find this review because I never made it and never reviewed it. But hey, June 13th, and I even said gaming is dead, unsubscribe now, because I didn't want to have a bunch of people pissed off that I'm not doing gaming anymore, etc., etc. I had a good early boost here. I think I even had Gary in the chat on this one from Nerdrotic back then, because I had a lot of, and look how well these were doing, and then it was slowly, gradually going. Ghostbusters, Random versus Ghostbusters Against False Feminism. Hey, let's rename my channel. I think I even had one of those, because I didn't want to be Random Game User anymore, because I wasn't playing games. And you can just keep going, and I've never reviewed the movie because I never saw it, and it didn't look good enough to see. In fact, I've made that point a few times here, but no, this is all Star Trek. Gee, not a big Marvel channel here at the time when that came out. Nope. So, this is what's so funny. Now, the videos I did make about Black Panther were probably about a year ago when it was getting a lot of Oscar nod and Golden Globes nod and snubbing, etc., etc. So one of the videos I made, first video I remember making about it, the world is over, Black Panther snubbed at Golden Globes, and get some lighting. This is that month I stayed at my mother's, after I moved out of Wisconsin back to Colorado. 13,000 views. That actually did really, really well because I had just hit 10,000 a few months prior to this. All right, let me get a better freeze frame than that. That's not a flattering one. That's not a flattering one at all. So, yeah, and I was basically commenting on what the fans were talking about and giving my opinion on that movie, basically. Now, the other thing I was talking about here was that it got a Golden Tomatoes award, right? So, because of course it won. Because in my opinion, going through these reviews, now this didn't convince me to see it either, by the way, and this was about 6 months after somebody who had a little bit of a hate boner and obsession for me, got it in their head that I took their place on a podcast that they were never actually a part of. But no, hey, sure, we'll just get into that just a tiny little bit here. I went through the reviews here from Rotten Tomatoes, and my assessment was there's a lot of negative reviews wrapped in positives, and that was a lot of the stuff that was happening with stuff like She-Ra, Star Wars, etc., where you had basically review bombing of positives even though they're like, oh yeah, this really wasn't that great, but screw the haters, give it a 5-star, give it a thing. And that's kind of what this video is talking about. It was before I really noticed a huge pattern of it. I had done a few Shiro Rotten Tomatoes videos before this, probably some Star Wars, etc., etc. I was just still coming into this, and yeah, I said that none of these reviews convinced me to see this movie either, and that perhaps maybe people used something like Black Panther in the same way they used name-dropping Idris Elba. And what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, crazy person? Well, I mean that people like to insert, oh yes, Idris Elba should be James Bond. Idris Elba should be this. And I think a lot of the time people use, your go-to people of color to not seem ist, when they're talking about pop culture. Now, see, I am not afraid of that because I know I'm not. And I know, Baby Yoda! Why is Baby Yoda here? Hello, Baby Yoda. But you people know exactly what you're doing wrong. But this is just one of those examples of how people are like, oh, Idris Elba should be in everything. Okay, do you really actually like him, or are you just trying to not sound like an ist in front of your buddies? And that's kind of my take on the Black Panther movie, is you have a lot of these reviews going in, not trying to sound really, really ist. And to me, I saw the trailer, didn't look that great. It didn't look that interesting. The character I didn't remember too much from Civil War. Was it Civil War? Yeah, it was Civil War. Keep in mind, now, I had only seen just a couple of Marvel movies. I had seen Captain America, I had seen the first Thor movie, I had seen the 3 Iron Mans, I had seen Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy. Probably a few more that I'm not remembering right off the bat because, I'm still sick or whatever, but that's not the point. The point is, I didn't really want to rush out on my birthday weekend to see another superhero movie when it wasn't, I was really in the mood for Star Trek. I was kind of so focused and consumed with Star Trek at the time that, to me, it would have been a waste of time. Plus, the person I was with at the time didn't even want to see that as much as they wanted to see the other movie that we saw, which was an anime movie. So, yeah, no, I did not review this movie. I'm not going to review this movie. I'm probably never going to see it. It doesn't look that interesting. I don't care. I'll watch Doctor Strange 2. That looks interesting. Throw Black Panther in with anybody else. Sure. I saw Aquaman. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a little more preferential of looking at guys without shirts who have longer hair. I don't know if that makes me an ist. Then whatever. I guess Jason Momoa is not exactly white either, but sure. From what I heard, it was the exact same plot. You've got 2 brothers fighting to be the king of something, and that's such a generic story anyway. Also, I did watch Mahler's complete breakdown and destruction of Black Panther, so I kind of feel like I got the gist of the plot for reference. I'm not gonna do a review of the movie, because no, I didn't see it. And I don't do a lot of movie reviews anyway. Nobody really gets a whole lot of traction on reviews. They're kind of the throwaway thing. My focus has always been more the behind the scenes stuff, and I was doing the Star Trek reviews as kind of a way to trickle in the Star Trek, because that was going to be the main focus of the channel until Star Trek completely imploded in on itself, and now we had to go, we had to go more the Star Wars route. Oh, and also we got the amazing gift of Little Miss Captain Marvel, Brie people.
I just see people, and I just play people. I didn't play Captain Marvel because I wanted to be a hero. I just wanted to be a person, and that was a big platform to play a person.
She's a treasure, isn't she? And that was really one of the things that made me focus a lot more on the Marvel stuff, was doing the trailer reactions when that stuff came out. So no, I do have kind of a policy anyway of not really reviewing movies past their date anyway, because a lot of people are like, oh, you should review this, you should review that. Well, yeah, but it's not topical, it's not current, it's not in the theaters now. And that's why I didn't do a review of Cats, because I didn't see that one either. Oh, I talk about it. I'll talk about his box office. I'll talk about blaming the fans. Same thing with Little Women. I'll talk about them till the cows come home. I'm not seeing those. I've already got Little Women on the shelf. Cats look like a hot mess. Black Panther looked kind of boring to me. So we're clearing the air on that. And if people, it's kind of delicious. The amount of fun we're having with this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, live stream, or Patreon here. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!